to the Roaring '20s show. This week's special is about the changing role of women in the 1920s, a time when women had an increased role in society. Now welcoming an actress known as the It Girl, It symbolizing an amazing process where women are making amazing progress that women are making in society, and leading the way is Clara Bow, the Girl of the Year.
Thank you, Autumn. It's my pleasure to be here.
Now, Clara, tell us a little about your road to fame.
Well, I had a pretty rough childhood. My parents weren't really around much and don't support the dreams that I have. The only way I could escape the troubles at home was through watching movies. At age 16, I dropped out of school and entered a beauty contest. I ended up winning a small role in the movie called Beyond the Rainbow.
Wow, that's great. So how do you feel your role affects women in today's society?
Well, Autumn, after I starred in the movie It, I became a style icon for women all across the country.
So with your growing popularity and influence in society, how do you feel you're represented in the media?
I feel that the media often puts me in a very negative light.
How so?
Well, a lot of the movies I star in are considered ahead of their time. This ends up starting a lot of rumors and controversy when in reality, my movies just show how much times are changing.
That's an interesting point, Clara. Well, thank you for talking with us today. You truly changed the role of women in society and greatly symbolized the flapper era.
Thank you so much, Autumn.
Now welcoming our next guest, the first female pilot to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, Amelia Earhart.
Thanks for having me, Autumn. It's my pleasure to be here today.
Now, Amelia, tell us a little about yourself and how you got so interested in aviation.
Well, I saw a plane for the first time when I was about 10, but I didn't really become interested until much later in 1920 when my good friend Frank Hawks took me on my first plane ride, one that would forever change my life. By the time I was 200 or 300 feet off the ground, I knew I had to fly. In 1920, I bought my first plane and named it the Canary, which I used to set my first women's record, and now a few years later, here I am.
Wow, that's truly amazing. How do you feel you have affected women in today's society?
Well, I feel like I show women that they can dream big and set their standards high. With my attitude, I was the first woman and second person to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Someday, I wish to be the first woman to fly all the way around the world. As I always say, women must try to do things as men have tried. When they fail, their failure must be but a challenge to others.
Well, those are some great ideas you have. Any future plans?
Thanks for asking, Autumn. My next plan is to be the first woman to fly across the Pacific Ocean.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
In the 1920s, a new type of woman was born. She now smoked, drank, danced, and voted. She had short hair and an even shorter skirt. She is the flapper.
Hello, Autumn. It's so great to be here today.
So, Maddie, could you tell us a little about who flappers are?
Of course. A flapper is a new type of Western woman. Our style influences women all across the country.
How has the style changed?
Well, as you said before, the clothing is majorly changing and becoming shorter and more revealing, as well as a new bobbed haircut.
In your opinion, how do you think the flappers have changed the role of women in society?
Well, Autumn, there are several ways that women have changed. For example, we encourage women to be more independent now that we have more rights and freedoms. The 1920s is called the era of good feelings for a reason, and that comes with a lot of big, important changes for women across the country.
That's a great point. It has been very nice with you here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Autumn.
Now welcoming the first woman to ever be crowned Miss America, Margaret Gorman.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
So, what was the process like to become Miss America?
Well, at age 16, I entered a photo contest and won, which led me to be crowned Miss Washington.
Oh, so what was the first Miss America pageant like?
Pageants were meant for entertainment and enjoyment of the people. We are judged on appearance, personality, interaction with the crowd, and judges. We were also encouraged to exercise and eat right at all times.
So, Miss America, how do you feel the pageant life has affected today's society?
What is that? The role of Miss America is to encourage women to make a difference in society. Miss America has been intent on making a difference in people's lives through charitable and community events.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today.
It's my pleasure.
There are many guests today on the Roaring Twenties show. We have learned how women have made a positive impact on the 1920s society. With the help of the 19th Amendment, which is the right to women's vote, women have really made their mark on society. This has to be the most positive time for women yet, with the increase of opportunities for education and work, which was unheard of just a few years ago. Women really have made an impact on the 1920s society. Now welcoming the first woman ever to be crowned Miss America, Margaret Gorman.